every single time I went out on the field, it was life or death for me. I'm so engaged in the thing, and the frustration gets to the max where, like, Trevor, how do you feel about Marcus Stroman and what he did against the Blue Jays? Now, what you guys should know is Stro has energy, whether it's positive or negative at all. Like, he's gonna, if he's mad, he's gonna let you know, and if he's happy, he's gonna let you know. But I know for a fact that very quickly after that, he was not happy with the way that he did the showing up on the field, even though he didn't like go do this. That's the worst. The worst thing you do is like look at him and be like, dude, come on. He didn't do that. But he's like, throw the ball, like, because it looked like this to me, and it looked like this to everyone in the dugout too, that Glaber took Vladdy's speed for granted there and
grounded to short. Volpe to second for one, on to first. Not in time.
And just didn't quite have the urgency he needed to get to the out. And Stroh's like, I need the double plays. Okay. So I understand the play and the frustration. However, you got to find a way to manage it outside. You can be like, come on, like one of those, but to do it as much as he did.
Run scores, and it's a 2-1.
Overboard. But I will say, I liked Stroh and I liked his energy. But sometimes, like, there was times where I was like, okay, you have energy about something that I don't agree with you on, right? But then other times I'm like, I'm glad you have energy on this because someone needs to, right? So it's two-sided coin. He stayed in. He picked his guys up. I don't think it's a indicator of anything in their dugout or in their locker room. Aaron Judge came over and said, hey, man, you got to not be doing that on the field. Stroh's like, you're right. I shouldn't be.
Aaron Judge between innings talking with Marcus Stroman. And you think,
and as far as I know, from what I've heard, it's all been pretty copacetic, and they were all like, hey, here's where I was coming from, but like I shouldn't have done that. And they were like, yeah, you know what? I should have went. Everyone admitted their part of it, and then they moved on, which is what you want to hear about. I know it's New York, and we want to think that there's this big problem happening, but there's not, probably.
A couple of days off, a little reset. And
I felt really good about the situation, so I don't know. I sometimes you got to let people know. Again, where am I now? I'm a little biased. I'm more open to energy, and I'm much more open to showing your emotion on the mound because I felt like I just bottled it up so goddamn much for my whole career. But there's a time and there's a place, and that probably wasn't done the best way. But in the history of Marcus Stroman, that was one of the more mild, I think, more instructive versions. Got to love your fielders' backs no matter what. Yeah, you got to have your fielders' backs. And when you're frustrated with them, you got to be able to at least like not have the altercation or the conversation in the middle of the field. You do it in the dugout. But I also understand like it's really hard to just not be like, I'm not mad at all and just hide it completely in the moment because emotions are emotions, right? You can be like, oh, you can be frustrated for a second, but you got to move on. Just don't let it fester. I'm sure you spoke about Steele in the dugout too. I haven't actually. Can I get a link to the Steele thing? Justin Steele in the dugout. I didn't see this. I would love to check that out and give my opinion on it. Same way the Cubs, did Steele do the same thing? This is like a breakdown. So what happened? Guys are out here messing up. No one's communicating. He's frustrated. Okay, so this is what he did when he was in the dugout. He's saying, wake up. I love that. He ain't wrong. No, he is. And so that's the thing. No, guys, that's some anger issues. It's not. I don't understand. No, I do understand. We are out there and it's life or death. Like every single time I went out on the field, it was life or death for me. That's the way I approached it. My body, like I'm so engaged in the thing, and the frustration gets to the max where like it feels like uncontrollable at times. And in his defense, he didn't do it on the field. He did it in the dugout. You can yell, wake up, fire guys up. I like that, actually. This is better than Stroh's. Stroh's did it out on the field. Just don't do it on the field, but you can do it in the dugout. Camera seeing you is irrelevant. I don't give a shit about that. I think that wake up, not you guys all suck. So as long as he goes, wake up, wake the fuck up, doesn't say you guys suck. That's different, right? Those two things are different. So it depends on what you say and how you say it. But that's more of a, I'm out here pitching my ass off. You guys play your ass off and we're good. Is that Dansby's ball or CF? Honestly, it's a tough play no matter what. But it was the communication he was pissed off about. And then no one covering second. It was just like no one was where they needed to be. Everyone kind of threw their hands up. And that's probably the part that sent him. But just say when you're a leader, you got to say what you need to say, and you got to handle it the best way you can. My thing is a good line to not cross would be if it's in the middle of the field or not. Just don't go crazy in the middle of the field. Give him an emotional scar they'll never forget. LOL. That's a good mindset. I've seen Verlander do the same thing. Yeah. Just let it eat. Go after him, and feeling really strongly and you want to win, then let him know. And that's just how it comes. That's just how it goes. But I love this. Justin Steele, let him know, bro. Let him know about the freaking out in the dugout. I love it. I really do. I think these are two different types of situations. Maybe this is something we can get into. Make this a little bit of a longer video, but like Justin Steele letting people know in that way, I think that's completely fine. And not only that, he didn't like go get in anyone's face. So there's one other thing too. You don't want to go and like grab a guy, pin him up against something, start yelling, right? This didn't seem personal. This just mean like, it's almost like your dad going, "Hey, stop it," and you're like, "Oh," like one of those situations, right? You're messing around, and your dad's like, "Hey, calm down over there," and then all the kids go, "Oh, okay," and you kind of lock back in on what you're doing. It probably served that way, and the Cubs definitely need it. They are underperforming at the moment. Trevor, who was your best mentor you had in your baseball career? My reliever mentor was Kevin Jepson when I first came up. I've had lots of good mentors though. Like, I think of it, guys that I liked, I like hanging out, like that I love shooting the shit with, like Ottavino. I could say he was a little bit of a mentor and talking about stuff. I think that Jeremy Hefner was a good mentor. I think that Wes Johnson was a good mentor. Trying to think of players. Watching Joe Mauer go about his business. Now that wasn't direct, right? He wasn't a pitcher, but like just watching him, just like watching how he set standards was great. I would say those guys, all those guys were great for me, man. I really enjoyed playing with them, being with them. You play with Bassett? I did play with Bassett. I played Bassett in the fall league too. Me and Andrew Heaney played with Chris Bassett. Otto's been getting a lot of shit lately. Of course he has. But again, he's another guy who's getting bit by the unlucky bug. Like he's actually pitching a lot better. Like peripherally, right? In 2022, he had the same periphery and he was pitching really well. It's just a matter of when things happen and whether or not he gets lucky or not. So that's what's happening with him, bro. That is what's happening with him. I love you. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and pay attention to the YouTube channel. We got new videos coming out. I got shorts coming out. Follow me on TikTok, all that shit. All right, guys. I love you. I hope you guys all, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.